Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
A check on your forecast tonight in Salt Lake City here at the ABC4 studios. The winds have relaxed as temperatures are sitting in the upper 70s. It was an interesting weather day, a lot going on as we look at the sunset tonight, closing it out with Dawn Can from Sandy and Brittany Thorpe from Pleasant Grove. Some pretty color out there, and you probably noticed more cloud cover even in southern Utah. Our Black Desert Sky Cam jumps over in Ivins to where you see some clouds streaming through over the Red Rock today. It was very windy in Ivins and really windy throughout the entire state. Wicked winds there with those numbers, with the double digits there in Salt Lake, and then the West Desert, 46-mile-per-hour wind gusts clocked in Milford and Cedar City. Strong southerly flow today, and we noticed it. It really upped since yesterday. It's all dependent on this upper level low, which is providing a decent amount of moisture on the eastern side of it and continues to dig along the California coast. It really amplifies our southerly flow with the positioning of our high, and that's why we knew peak winds would show up today. Satellite radar shows just a few storms on the northeastern side of the state as we made it through the evening hours. Now, as we head into tomorrow, we anticipate those southerly winds will remain gusty. May not be as blustery as it was today, but here we are by 3 o'clock tomorrow with double digits in the West Desert, the usual suspects with gusty conditions. But south central, southeastern Utah will also see strong winds, becoming a little more breezy as we head towards Friday. Hey, did you feel it in Uinta and Duchesne County? We had an earthquake today, more than 5.5 miles from Vernal. So Duchesne and Uinta County, this was towards Mazer. Maybe you felt it, a reported earthquake of 4.1 magnitude. As you take a look at that video coming from Little Cottonwood, it looks like fall, but temperatures didn't feel that way. No, we hit the 90s today, 92 in Salt Lake. That's above average and 1 degree away from the record. 80s and 90s with the help of that southerly flow bringing in the warm wind. 94 in Moab, 95 in St. George. We did see some stormy skies out there. Kurt Benjamin catching this one in Cache Valley. Pretty shot there. And the Heber Airport time-lapse video, go with me on this because you see those clouds roll over the mountains and then deliver with a thunderstorm bringing some wet weather to the tarmac this evening. As we look at the forewarned radar, you see it's still sweeping the region. We jump over to southern Utah. Things are quieting, but a little bit of moisture towards the Four Corners and then Green River. A little further north in and around Vernal and Roosevelt, and then over the Uintas, we have some thunderstorm activity. Heading into tomorrow, we'll see more of that with an upgraded thunderstorm threat on the eastern side of the state. That marginal risk calls for a few isolated severe storms and a general thunderstorm threat for the Wasatch Front, central Utah and south central Utah. So moisture still in the cards, even though the winds will hold on. Futurecast walks us through the rest of tonight. The Uintas stay active with some nocturnal showers, fairly quiet, but then by tomorrow afternoon, northeastern Utah from Castle Country to the Basin has the potential of seeing storms. That's what the model picks up on. I think we could see a few more towards the Four Corners as well. Into Friday, the low is lifting. That brings the potential for isolated storms, but a lot of the weather models have backed off of that moisture I previously told you about, looking at isolated potential. Flood watch in effect for the San Juan River Basin, San Juan Mountains, Sal and Abajos, going into effect tomorrow morning through the evening. Big picture shows that low pressure and high pressure with the winds in place. It's going to continue to dig. There's moisture with it and cooler air. We remain windy into our Thursday. That moisture in place and the low is lifting as we roll through Friday. We could be in a dry slot, which would limit our thunderstorm activity, but the potential is still there. Brief high pressure sets up, but then into next week, possibly by the middle of the week, we could see unsettled conditions yet again with another trough heading our way. Regional forecast with those 80s for tomorrow. More seasonal, dropping off of those 90s quickly. 89 in Moab and St. George. Looking at the next 7 days in Washington County, you see those 80s with breezy conditions through Saturday, but a overall dry pattern there with 90s making a return. Here's the Wasatch Front, 80s turning to 70s. That's going to be a bit of an appetizer for fall temperatures, getting back into the low 80s. Seasonal norms tomorrow with isolated potential out there. How about that earthquake, friends?
Wow,
I know.